Hello and welcome. This is your friend Parinita Rohra on Celebrate Life, Celebrate Pregnancy. Let me first begin by congratulating you for the great good news that you have given us. I'm here to discuss about all that one goes through in their 40 weeks of pregnancy. Yes, pregnancy lasts for around 40 weeks, that is 280 days. Beginning from the first day of your last period. Most women go into labor on the either side of this date, that is in the 39th week or the 41st week. Now, these 40 weeks are divided into 3 trimesters. The first trimester that begins from 1st week to the 12th week. Second trimester begins from the 13th week and lasts till 28th week. And the third trimester begins from the 29th week to the 40th week. There are some exceptional cases where women go overdue. Now, if a woman does not go into labor by the time she is 41 weeks pregnant, there is a procedure called membrane sweep, in which an internal vaginal examination is done, which stimulates the neck or the cervix of the womb, which produces hormones that triggers natural labor. Now it is said that this can be avoided, and another option is induced labor. Now just in case you reach the 41st week of your pregnancy and you still do not want labor to be induced, your baby and you will have to be continuously monitored with ultrasound scans and for the baby's movement and heartbeat. Induction is always planned in advance. It is always offered to women who don't go into labor by 42 weeks. Now let's quickly understand what one may experience in the first trimester. Your body slowly undergoes many changes. These are hormonal changes which affect almost every system and organ of your body. These changes further trigger symptoms even in the very first weeks of your pregnancy. Now, besides the stopping of your periods, which is almost always a clear sign that you are pregnant, other changes may include extreme tiredness, tender swollen breasts, your nipples might also stick out, upset stomach with or without throwing up, that is morning sickness, cravings or distaste for certain foods, mood swings, constipation, that is trouble having bowel movements, need to pass urine more often, headache, heartburn, weight gain or loss. Since your body is undergoing changes, you must consider making changes to your daily routine as well, such as having small frequent meals, going to bed early, and so on. Slowly and gradually your first trimester will pass and all these discomforts will go away. And it is not necessary that you will experience all these discomforts. You may not experience any of them. It is also not necessary that you will feel the same way when you were first time pregnant. Each and every pregnancy is different and has some variations. Some symptoms like nausea and fatigue or tiredness go away, but there are other changes happening. Remember, your baby in there is growing, so obviously it needs some space. So slowly and gradually your abdomen will expand. Your body is changing to make space for it, and these are the few things that you may go through. Body aches such as back, abdomen, groin or thigh pain, stretch marks on your abdomen, breasts, thighs or buttocks, darkening of the skin around your nipples, a line on the skin running from belly button to pubic hairline. You may also see patches of darker skin, usually over your cheeks, forehead, nose and upper lip. These usually match on both sides of the face, and these are sometimes called mask of pregnancy. Numb or tingling hands called carpal tunnel syndrome. Itching on the abdomen, palms and soles of the feet. Now along with itching, if you happen to have jaundice or if you feel that you are losing appetite or even if you have vomiting, nausea or fatigue, do not ignore. Do call the doctor, as these could be signs of a serious liver problem. Swelling of the ankles, fingers and face. But if you notice that suddenly there is lot of swelling or you're suddenly gaining a lot of weight, please do not ignore. Call your doctor, as this could be a sign of preeclampsia. Hopefully, your second trimester will pass peacefully. Always hope for the best. And now you will be stepping into the third trimester. This is the time you can look forward to your baby kicking you. Besides the discomforts that you had in your second trimester, you may also have some discomfort or difficulty in breathing sometimes. You may also have to excuse yourself to go to the washroom more often. And this is certainly quite okay, because the good news is that the baby is getting bigger and all these discomforts will disappear once the baby is born. So, in the third trimester, you may have shortness of breath, heartburn, again swelling of the ankles, fingers and face, hemorrhoids, tender breasts which may leak a watery pre-milk called colostrum. Your belly button may stick out, trouble in sleeping, the baby dropping or moving lower in your abdomen, contractions which can be a sign of real or false labor. And lastly, as you near your due date, your cervix becomes thinner and softer. This is called effacing, which is a natural process which helps to open your birth canal for the birthing process. Your doctor will also keep a check on your progress through several vaginal examinations. So take a deep sigh of relief. I am sure you're going to wade through smoothly. You're bearing a new life, a lovely and beautiful life. After all, motherhood is a blessing and the best essence of womanhood. So celebrate life, celebrate pregnancy. The first week of your pregnancy. Mind you, you are not yet pregnant this week, but this is a week after you've had your last period, and thus your doctor has calculated or will calculate this week as the first week of your pregnancy. So this week is counted as week 1 only for the sake of calculation of your approximate due date. This is actually the week when your body is preparing or all geared up to conceive. Your body is now preparing to ovulate or release an egg after you have just finished your period. And this can happen anywhere between the 12th day to the 16th day, counting the first day of your period as day 1. Most women ovulate during this time. Now let's just understand what you have gone through, or rather your body has gone through, and how it is prepared to conceive now. You have just finished your menstrual periods, and in this process you have shed the lining of your uterus and also last month's unfertilized eggs. Yes, during the menstruation process you have shed the lining of the uterus and unfertilized eggs. This has given rise to a new cycle. It has begun a new cycle and the starting point of pregnancy has begun. Now, where does the possibility of pregnancy begin? In which part of your body does the possibility of pregnancy begin? It is in the ovaries, the fallopian tube or the uterus. Well, the possibility of pregnancy begins in the ovaries. Now these ovaries are two oval-shaped organs on either side of your uterus. These ovaries are packed with eggs. Every baby girl is born with around 1 or 2 million eggs. And these start dying off almost immediately, or they start reducing in number. In your fertile years, that is from the time you get your first period till menopause, a girl releases around 400 eggs. Now sometime between the 12th to 16th day, you may release 2 or 3 eggs, and one of them may be the most fertile. Now these 2, 3 or maybe even 1 egg has reached maturity in one of your 2 ovaries, but only one is going to be released. And as soon as it is going to be released, it is going to be sucked up by the nearest fallopian tube, by a tulip-shaped opening of the nearest fallopian tube. Now the egg is going to travel from the fallopian tube to the uterus, and it is going to die in 24 hours. Yes, the egg is going to be alive just for 24 hours, and in this time, if it meets up with a healthy sperm, the chances are that the two can join and begin the process of creating a new life. So this is all that a woman's body goes through while preparing for conception. Now don't lose heart understanding that it is just one day in a month when you can conceive. You can still conceive anywhere from the 12th day to the 16th day. though the egg is alive in there just for 24 hours. And how, that we will watch in our next video, Celebrate Life, Celebrate Pregnancy Week 2. During the second week, while you are waiting for the new life to breathe inside your body is further preparing itself to welcome that life. Hopefully by now you must have ovulated or released an egg, and when that egg was alive for 24 hours or when it was active, if it has met with a healthy sperm, the chances are that conception must have taken place. Now, the question is, how can you conceive anywhere between 12th day to 16th day when the egg is alive just for 24 hours? Well, unlike the egg which is alive just for 24 hours, the good news is that the sperms are alive for 7 days. So when you ovulate, and if the sperms are already waiting in there in the fallopian tubes or the uterus, the chances are that the sperm must have penetrated the egg and fertilized it, and conception has taken place. Now coming to the story of sperms. Millions of them have to undertake a journey of about 18 centimeters. This journey begins from the cervix, then they go through the uterus and then finally reach the fallopian tubes. Now in the process of this journey, the chances are that very few will find their destination. By destination, I mean the egg. This is not an easy job because the egg is covered with a very thick layer, and only the strongest and the healthiest one will be able to do this job, and a strong and healthy sperm will produce a strong and healthy baby. So you see, the special one has undertaken a long journey and has travelled at the rate of roughly about 2.5 centimeter every 15 minutes. Now while the fastest can find the egg in as little as 45 minutes time, the slowest can take up to 12 hours. And what happens to the millions of them who had started the journey together? Well, some simply get trapped or get stuck along the way. Some go in the wrong direction and they get into the wrong fallopian tube, and some simply die along the way. As soon as fertilization takes place, the genetic material in the sperm and the egg combine to form a new cell. This new cell is called the zygote. Now the zygote should be truly applauded because as soon as it is formed, it has done this commendable job of forming an outer membrane and closing itself to the hundreds of sperm that had made it this far. The zygote cannot remain here. It has to travel further down from the fallopian tube to the uterus, and as it starts its further journey to the uterus, it further divides itself. As it further divides itself, it comes to be called a morula, and when the morula further divides itself, it is finally called the blastocyst. The blastocyst has to attach itself to the uterus. You are not considered pregnant until and unless the blastocyst has attached itself to the uterus. Now, just as you do so many preparations for your baby to arrive after 9 months, your uterus too has done some preparations for the blastocyst. Just as you may get an extra mattress for the comfort of your baby, your uterus too has formed a blood-rich lining of tissue called the endometrium. And as soon as you conceive, the glands and blood vessels of this tissue further increase in size and number. Also, some vascular spaces fuse and get interconnected, forming the famous placenta. And it is this placenta that supplies and provides oxygen and nutrients to the fetus. All these preparations ensure that the blastocyst or your baby receives the best possible environment on its arrival in the uterus. It may so happen that the blastocyst sometimes or occasionally plants itself somewhere else other than the uterus, maybe in the fallopian tube. This pregnancy is then called the ectopic pregnancy, which cannot be continued and it has to be completely terminated. But you need not worry, as I just told you, it happens just rarely. So we saw how the blastocyst travels from the fallopian tube to the uterus and further grows over there. And how? That we will watch in our next video, Celebrate Life, Celebrate Pregnancy Week 3. So let's see what happens in the third week of pregnancy. By now we are hopeful that the healthy sperm must have penetrated the egg that you released, and the fertilization must have taken place, wherein the zygote, which turned into morula and then into blastocyst, must have traveled down the fallopian tubes to the uterus and attached itself there. Now this bundle of cells known as the blastocyst has to further grow. Let us see what happens to the blastocyst. Now what happens to this blastocyst is that it slowly hollows out and fills with fluid, further dividing into two, wherein one half becomes the fetus and the other half becomes the placenta. Also, as soon as it attaches to the uterus, the endometrium provides nutrients and also removes waste from the embryo. We hear a lot about DNA tests nowadays. So I would like to tell you that it is this stage when the embryo is developed that the DNA is also built. It is also exciting to know that though your baby is just as small as a pinhead, about 0.2 mm to 0.5 mm, specific features of the baby have already begun to develop. Features such as gender, eye, hair and skin are already determined, and the brain, head, spinal cord and gastrointestinal tract are on its way to develop. And the most exciting part is that the heart has started beating. So we just saw that the heart has started beating, specific features of the baby have already been determined, and the DNA is built. And the baby is further going to grow in week 4. Celebrate life, celebrate pregnancy. Before we begin to understand the developments happening in week 4, let us quickly understand what has happened in the last 3 weeks. You must have ovulated by now, thereby releasing an egg which must have met with a sperm, and together they must have joined to form a new cell body called the zygote. The zygote must have traveled through the fallopian tube to the uterus and attached itself to the wall of the uterus. Until and unless it has attached itself to the wall of the uterus, you cannot consider yourself pregnant. And now, how do you know that you are pregnant? Because you have gone through some pregnancy tests. Your body releases an HCG hormone which turns the pregnancy test positive and also turns your whole world upside down. So now by week 4, conception, fertilization and implantation have all occurred, and your baby is going to grow really fast in this week. It is about 0.4 mm long. The organs are developing, the blood is pumping and the heart has started beating. Also, the amnion sac and the yolk sac have developed. The amnion sac fills with amniotic fluid which protects the embryo, while the yolk sac produces the blood and helps nourish the embryo until the placenta takes over. And now coming to the blastocyst, which is a multiple cell body. Let's see what's happening to all these cells. The outer cells reach out to form links with the mother's blood supply. The inner cells form into 2 and then later into 3 layers. Each of these layers will grow to be different parts of the baby's body. The inner layer, called the endoderm, becomes the breathing and digestive system, including the lungs, stomach, gut and bladder. The middle layer, called the mesoderm, becomes the heart, blood vessels, muscles and bones. The outer layer, called the ectoderm, becomes the brain and nervous system, the eye lenses, tooth enamel, skin and nails. So now we just saw that though the size of the baby is hardly a centimeter, there is so much that has happened to it and you. Now this is also the week when you are expecting to miss your period. There is something called an implantation bleeding which may happen and you may pass off as the approaching period. In fact, all these symptoms of the 4th week, which are actually early signs of pregnancy or early symptoms of early pregnancy, for example bloating, cramping, mood swings and backache, are all signs of the approaching period, the one which will never arrive. We will soon come back with the proceedings of 5th week on Celebrate Life, Celebrate Pregnancy. I'm going to talk about the development of your baby in the 5th week of pregnancy. Well, by now you must have missed your period and you must have also done the pregnancy tests which may have obviously turned positive. and you may be waiting to disclose the news to your near and dear ones. While you are only beginning to think and believe that you are pregnant, your baby has already undergone major developments. The heart of the baby is beating, the blood is pumping, and most of the organs are beginning to sprout. The placenta is fully functioning by now, providing nutrients to your baby and also taking away its waste products, while the umbilical cord is delivering those nutrients as well as the oxygen to your baby. Well, that's quite a progress for the last 4 weeks. And now, coming to the 5th week of pregnancy. The heart has separated into 4 chambers and it is beating fast, also pumping blood. The kidney, the liver, the intestines are also developing. The neural tube begins to form, which will eventually become the brain and the spinal cord. The appendix is in place, the skeleton has taken shape, and the external organs like the eyes, nose, mouth, fingers and toes begin to show. And as we already saw, the placenta too develops, and through the placenta and the umbilical cord, the baby receives nourishment. So you see the internal as well as the external organs of the baby have begun to develop, though the baby is just the size of an apple seed and it looks more like a tadpole with a tail. Now, isn't all this growth amazing for the baby inside you who is just 5 weeks old? And as the weeks go by, the progress and growth is going to get all the more exciting. We'll be back soon with Celebrate Life, Celebrate Pregnancy Week 6. Given below is our email ID. Do send in your queries and also your feedback. Also do subscribe to our channel and do not forget to breathe, chill and relax. Thanks for watching.